women every day are bombarded with the media's idea of the ideal body. These unrealistic images are portrayed all over the country. The message being sent to women is that they are not pretty or skinny enough. The media sells body dissatisfaction through unrealistic images of women, which cause some women to compare happiness with being thin. Therefore, some feel that if they're not thin, then they are not happy. Women of all ages hold unrealistic ideals of body shape and size. Ideals that can be both physically and mentally unhealthy. My main claim is that the media's body image advertising causes some women to have health problems. By media, I mean the means of communication as radio and television, newspapers and magazines that reach or influence people widely. And by body image, I mean an intellectual or idealized image of what one's body is or should be like. I'm going to go over two main supporting points: physical health problems and mental health problems. First, women who have physical health problems caused by the media's body image advertising are trying to obtain the ideal body that they see in magazines, television, and other types of media. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, the average American woman is 5'4" and weighs 140 pounds, while the average American model is 5'11" and weighs 117 pounds. To achieve this ideal weight, some women try extreme dieting. Some of these types of diets include the eggs everywhere diet, which is when you eat 9 eggs a day for 9 months. The 5-bite diet is when you eat 5 bites of any food you want 3 times a day. And the candy diet is when you eat hard candy to suppress your appetite. As you can probably tell, these types of diets are not good for your health. They deprive a person of the vital nutrients that they need. A report by the CDC said that on any given day, almost half the women in the United States are on a diet. These unhealthy diets sometimes cause rapid weight loss, but make women develop eating disorders. Some of these disorders include anorexia, which is the loss of appetite or inability to eat. This type of eating disorder is caused by limiting food intake, which leads to malnutrition and becoming alarmingly underweight. Another type of eating disorder people can be diagnosed with is bulimia, which causes frequent episodes of excessive food intake, followed by self-induced vomiting to avert weight gain. Bulimic people tend to have broken blood vessels in the eyes and small cuts and calluses across the tops of the finger joints from forcing oneself to vomit, along with many other types of physical damage. My second supporting claim is that the media's body image advertising causes some women to have mental health problems. According to a report by the CDC, about 80% of American women say that they are dissatisfied with their looks. Some of these women develop body dysmorphic disorder, or BDD. BDD is when someone is preoccupied with an imagined physical defect or a minor defect that others often cannot see. As a result, people with this disorder see themselves as ugly and often avoid social exposure to others or turn to plastic surgery to try and improve their appearance. According to a new study by researchers at Bradley Hospital, Butler Hospital, and Brown Medical School, women with BDD shape and weight have significantly higher levels of depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. To summarize, the media advertises images of the ideal body. When some women see these perfect models, they strive to be like them. Unfortunately, this body image is hard to achieve and maintain. These women then turn towards other means to lose weight fast. Some go on extreme diets which deprive a person of vital nutrients. Others develop eating disorders like anorexia and bulimia, both of which are physically harmful. When women are pushed to look a certain way by the media, some are diagnosed with body dysmorphic disorder and become obsessed with their imperfections. Therefore, the media's body image advertising causes some women to have health problems.
All right, the opening sets up the topic, but it also sets up a presupposition that I think is not proved and is a key point in the argument. I think it is the third point that's missing in your argument. I thought you did a good job identifying what your claim was and also hedging the claim a little bit, so you're not trying to suggest it's causal for everybody, but it affects some people. The real question is, what part of the media, what elements of media activities, images, so on and so forth, have an effect on what part of the women's population, and that's the part that's missing. There's no doubt that the media emphasizes a particular image and that there are some people who are affected by that image, but we don't know how much that contributes to their problems. That's the thing that I think is the link that's missing in your argument. You've got good evidence on the consequences that happen to people who develop these disorders. You've got some good information about dissatisfaction of people's body image, but the relationship that dissatisfaction is a result of what they see in the media, I think, is perhaps like I said, that's the thing that I think is missing. One of the things that might cause people to be dissatisfied with their body image, for instance, might be the fact that the federal government and all of the health agencies tell everybody that they should weigh a lot less than they do. They tell us what the average weight of American women is, for instance, and a doctor will say, wow, you're 20 pounds overweight, you need to lose weight. How is that the fault of the media? That's the kind of stuff that I think you need to have a little bit more information on. Every time you open a newspaper, I don't think we have any obesity speeches going on in here, but I've heard enough of them in the last 2 years. I swear, every kid in America is a fat pig, and all of us are doubling in size in the next 10 years. I'm going, well, maybe we ought to be watching more TV and deciding that we ought to be thinner. I mean, how can these two things be going on at the same time? I think you need to say that some women, like you mentioned, focus on this, and it's something, if there was something that we could do about it, or it's controllable, or it's a trigger that there's something that's going on there, that would be nice. That's the toughest part of the argument, though. That's the thing that I think that's missing in this argument all the time. All right, and I thought you did a nice job presenting it. You did a good job citing the evidence pretty consistently, and a nice job looking at the audience. Like I said, I just think that third point is the weak link in the argument, and it's always been the weak link in the argument, and I've heard people make it a little bit more strongly than this, and I think that you could probably find some other things that would help that. All right, thank you.